media, it is problem. Eh? When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as my own oru, I am a you understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They closed the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. This close of border no work. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igboho? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. Crypto. Use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more in another. You hear more kind of man. Woo! When we are telling you, you don't know, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle. From the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, you know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. Medusa, they say Medusa she look at when you look at Medusa, you turn into she will dry you and you become stone. Medusa have snake, you know, her hair. Medusa's hair is snake. Because of the power in Medusa, Medusa went very deep in the forests. I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, you know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods.
Only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who and who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra exit.
only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. and we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who and who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who in this restoration process. So
the money. So it's just like
welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. I welcome you all in this very platform, wherever you are joining us from. I thank you for being part of the program. Please like and share to all platforms, like and share to family and friends. Like and share to everyone that is close to you. Share so that people can join us and get this evening message. We are doing our part, and you also have to do your part by helping us to share this program. Share to all platforms, share to family and friends, share to anyone you can be able to reach out to. It is important. The defense of Biafra land is the priority of the United States of Biafra, which the Prime Minister, EPA Simon Njoko, stroke Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. The defense of Biafra land is something that is important to us. We know that the enemy don't want us to defend ourselves. They are pushing different kinds of propaganda, different kinds of blackmail, different kinds of attack from right, left, and center, from all corners, but we will not allow them to succeed. Wherever you are watching this program from today, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kabiama to please like and share. Pay attention. Do not be discouraged. Do not be distracted. You must focus on the real thing. I understand that there are so many blackmailers. There are so many distractors. There are so many obstacles that are coming from west, north, and south. Wherever the troubles are coming from, I urge you to please be patient. Don't get distracted. We shall overcome. Whatever the enemies are throwing at us, they are going to do everything possible to distract us. We must not allow them to get us distracted. Our enemies will do everything humanly possible to see that they make us lose our focus. We must not lose our focus. No matter what they do, no matter what we see, no matter what we hear, we must not allow them to distract us. We have come a very long way, and at this point in time, it is not the time to allow anybody to be an obstacle on our way. It is not the time for us to allow anybody to blackmail us. It is not the time for us to allow anybody to become a barrier. So we must have to focus and do what we have to do, and the time is now. Our freedom is not negotiable. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kabiam to always pay attention to what is happening around you. As the government is doing everything possible to make us together, we know that the enemies are fighting day in, day out. to cause confusion in our midst, to create division in our midst. But the priority of the Biafran government is to make sure that Biafran land has been defended. We must make sure that Biafra land is defended in all corners. We must make sure that Biafra land is defended. We must make sure that the enemy does not succeed in putting division among us. We can see that they are planning everything they can to put division among us. They divide us by making people to deny their identity. They divide us by employing some stooge among us. They divide us by planting propagandists and blackmailers among us, saboteurs among us. Do not make yourself available to be used. They have a lot of people they can use. Don't make yourself available to be used. If you make yourself available to be used, you are going to regret it, I bet you. If you make yourself a willing tool in the hand of the enemies to destroy what we are building or to stop the effort of the Biafran people, you are going to hit the Greek wall. And I bet you, you are going to face what is stronger than you. At the end of the day, you will regret what you just did. My fellow Biafrans that are watching this program, wherever you are watching me from, wherever you are observing this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to stand strong and stand firm. Do not allow the propaganda and the blackmail of the enemies to get you. Do not allow the wickedness and the idiocy of the enemies to get you. You must remain consistent in whatever you are doing. Put all your effort and continue to support the Biafran government in any way you can, both financially, both morally and prayerfully. There is something every one of us can do, and we must continue to do those things we know we can do to support our freedom. A lot is happening today. Since after the declaration of the restoration of Biafra on the 29th of November 2024 by the Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze on behalf of the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, from that very day, the chain of slavery was broken. And no, as the Egypts, Chukwu Okike Abiama allowed the children of Israel to go, but before they left Egypt, Pharaoh refused to let them go. We, the Biafran people, we are already free, and our freedom has been declared and announced. The whole world have had it, but the Pharaoh have refused to let us go. So we are going to continue to fight just like the Israelites fought until the final minute. From that day that declaration was made, they have intensified in their attack, blackmail, propaganda, different kinds of things they are throwing at us, trying to make us weak, trying to make us scared, trying to make us deny whom we are. But we will not allow them. Wherever you are watching this program from, this moment, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to prepare yourself for the battle ahead. This battle is going to be very fierce, but we are going to win the battle. The defense of Biafra land, you have some contribution to make. We have to continue to hold on to our unity. They have already started their plans, creating their division. They know that we are getting united. They created their division by channeling their energy, more especially on our brothers in the riverine area. They are channeling it. The government is completely sponsoring that very division. Just like the people in Ikwere that are denying that they are not Biafrans. We are going to show you today, through this program, we are going to show you you will understand the evil of the zoo. Remember, they have chosen their Ohanaze and Duhin and Dama, a very idiotic group that the government have been using to manipulate the affair of the Biafrans, Igbo Biafrans more especially. Remember, our Prime Minister banned anything Ohanaze and Duhin and Dama because they have nothing to offer. All they have to do is to cause confusion. The government is using them to manipulate the problems of the Biafran. They're using them to oppress Biafran. They're using them to control the Biafran affair. And today they have started again the manipulation. They elected Ohanaze and Igbo. After electing the one they elected in Port Harcourt, some group went to Enugu State and elected another person. The governor of Rivers State congratulated the one in Port Harcourt, and the presidency and the governor of Enugu State congratulated their own. Now, when we say that they are instruments of manipulation, that the government is using Ohanaze to manipulate the Igbos, you will now understand. From this their election, you understand. And that is why we have nothing to do with them. Anything Ohanaze and Duhinamdama is banned. They are banned. They are all used as manipulation. Confusion. They are used to set confusion, set manipulation, set fight and quarrel among us. That is the aim of establishing that Ohanaze by the government. They single-handedly appoint who goes there. They have been doing it again and again. That is why none of those Ohanaze and Duhinandama leaders have ever spoken. These are the people that came out and placed a ransom on our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekwanjoku. They placed $100 million ransom on him. Every one of you saw it. Is it $500 million? They placed on him as a ransom that anybody should get him dead or alive. Every one of you saw it. Now I want to play. Let us listen to this video. What they are saying on that the election and how that their idiotic election went. And we will continue to follow them up and see what the rubbish they are saying. Let's listen.
Activist and former Secretary General of Ohanaze and Igbo, Uche Okuku, emerged as President General in another election in Port Harcourt. He joins me now from the River State capital. Good evening, Uche Okuku, and thanks for joining me on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.
All right. I just wanted to ask you about the election that happened today in Port Harcourt. I don't know if you were listening into the conversation with my other guest who presided over another election in Enugu that brought in Senator Mbata. How do you respond to what happened in Enugu?
I cannot respond to what I don't know about. All I know is that in line with our tradition, election was held on the 9th that culminated into the early hours of 10th of January 2025. In 2017, the Ohanaze elections were held in Enugu because the President General coming from Enugu, who emerged from Enugu, Chief Nyawodo, is from Enugu, and the election was held in Enugu. In 2021, it was the turn of Imo State to produce the President General. The election was held in Imo State. In 2025, it is the turn of Rivers State to produce the President General. The election was held in Port Harcourt. And we concluded, the election was concluded in the wee hours of 10th of January 2025. I, Dim Uchechukwu Namaokoko, former Secretary General, Ohanaze and Igbo Worldwide, I emerged victorious in that election.
Mr. Okuku.
I don't know about, yes, I don't know about any election that was held in government house. In government house in Enugu, it is not in line with our tradition. And of course, you don't hold election in government house. How do you expect delegates to come into a caged place? Elections, even in political parties, are not held in government house or in Aso Rock. Elections are held in places that people can access. So I can authoritatively tell you that the delegates were in Port Harcourt and returned officers. Now, the question people want to ask, why in Port Harcourt? I've told you it was held here because it was the turn of Rivers State to produce a national president general. Thank you.
Mr. Okuku, if I can just come in here for a bit, while you're telling us what happened in Port Harcourt, we also would like to know who presided over the Port Harcourt elections and what other officers were elected in that election that took place in Port Harcourt.
Of course, you know, if you had read through the papers, Dr. Achi presided over the election that returned the officers. Dr. KK Oba emerged the Deputy President General from Abia State. Manafa Obi emerged the Secretary General from Anambra. All the offices were filled. The list is with the Admin Secretary. As I've said, you don't do something outside the Constitution, outside tradition, outside convention. It is a nullity.
You've said that you have no idea of whatever election happened in Enugu, but like it or not, there are reports that happened. We have reporters who were there at the election. The President Tinubu has congratulated the person that emerged President General in Enugu. But I just wanted to ask you, as President General of Ohanaze Ndigbo worldwide, how do you plan to reconcile factions of Ohanaze Ndigbo? Because at this time, this Igbo social cultural organization needs to be united, don't you think?
Of course, I strongly.
Now, did you hear that the criminal in Aso Rock recognized the one that they endorsed? The criminal in Aso Rock recognized the one they had in Enugu, which his own people planted, while the one that they selected, the organization selected according to their routine of choosing a leader where they host the program, they did not recognize that one. Two factions held their election on the same day, some in Enugu, some in Port Harcourt. The presumed original one, which is this man they are interviewing now from Port Harcourt, was the person that won the leader of Ohanaze. But the person, they choose another faction and went and anointed another person in Enugu State. And this man you are seeing here is from Ikwere. You know the problem they are talking about Ikwere, this issue of Ikwere not being Igbo, Ikwere not being Igbo. They know very well that Ikwere is Igbo. And Wike is the one making sure that Ikwere people does not go with the Igbos. And today, while election was conducted in Port Harcourt and somebody from Ikwere emerged as the leader of Ohanaze, Tinubu and the Wike went to Enugu State and conducted another one, and they anointed somebody else. And Tinubu congratulated that one and left this one here. And this one here was congratulated by the Rivers State governor. And now you know the problem between the Rivers State governor and Wike. Now you see how they have brought their politics, and they are using their politics in an organization that is supposed to speak for the Igbos. Do you now see the great division they have created in that organization? Do you see why we say that Ohanaze is nothing but arrant nonsense? It's something that the government of Nigeria is using to drive attention to distract us and cause confusion. Have you seen it? This is why our Prime Minister Mazi Simon banned this Ohanaze and Hinandama. That we don't want them. We don't want anything because they represent nobody. Now you see that the government have chosen their own because they will always choose who they want. Now that it is time turn for people from Ikpere to take up that position, the Ikpere people have always been part of the Ohanaze. They have been part of the meeting. They have always been performing in it. But we want to take Ikpere away from Igbo by all means. Muike want to force himself into Edo State. We are not forcing him to be an Igbo. Nobody forces him to be an Igbo. But these ones that accept the Igbo, they are going to take their turn. And Muike went to Enugu State with Tinubu and anointed somebody else with their stooge in Enugu State. That's Peter Mba or whatever. You know, when this is happening, you begin to know their stance. You begin to know those who are against the success of the Igbos. Peter Mba in Enugu State, we know that Peter Mba is a criminal right from time. Even his way of coming to that office is questionable. He's questionable. His coming to office was questionable. He has many questionable characters. We know what he's doing in Enugu State. And today, you see the distraction and division they are creating. I want you to continue to listen to him. I
believe we need a united front. And of course, you will agree with me. You may not have more knowledge of my background. I've committed my 30 years on this earth to the cause of the unity of the East and then the cause of Ndibo. From 1995 to date is 30 years. In 1995, I was the National Legal Advisor, Eastern Nigeria Student Association. In 1997, I was the country director of ENDOA, the Eastern Nigeria Data Unity Association, a United Kingdom-based organization led by Chukwudu Mikazo. In the year 2000, I emerged the director of Legal Services, Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra. I went to Washington, D.C. with Odumegwu Ojukwu, Wazirika, and others to open the Biafra House and Voice of Biafra International. In 2005, I was arrested and charged with treason along with other comrades. Released, I emerged that legal advisor, Ohanaze Youth Council. I was given an award for my position and principal position in Igbo land. The award was given to me by the Ohanaze Youth Council. The man who handed over the award to me was the late Ezife, former governor. I want to tell you, now, I have done a lot. I was Secretary General. If you Google me, I have been consistent that I'm an Igbo and my people are Igbos. I had written articles in the past talking about Igbo unity, Igbo renaissance, that Igbos need to come together. So I'm irrevocably committed to the unity of Ndi Igbo. And I look forward to bringing the Igbos from the other states, you know, and bring them into Ohanaze as member states of Ohanaze. So I believe that we need one united Ohanaze.
Time that we have, unfortunately. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. That was human rights activist and former Secretary General of Ohanaze Ndigbo, who emerged as President General in the election in Port Harcourt, Uche Okuko. Thank you so much.
Now you have heard him clearly. Do you now see how they interviewed him and how they quickly kicked him out? Because from the qualification of that man and what he was saying, you can understand that this man is somebody who is involved in the issue of Biafra. If you look at his pedigree and his qualification, how he has gone all the way with Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu and the other rest of them and went to the state of establishing Biafra radio and everything in the United States, you now understand why they will never allow him to speak for the Igbos. But instead, they prefer to choose their own. It is very important you listen to where he mentioned where he was and things he has done. I think I have to get that thing back so that we can listen to that very area, his qualifications and what his pedigree.
Late Ezife, former governor. I want to tell you, now, I have done a lot. I was Secretary General. If you Google me, I have been consistent. Services, Movement for the Actualization of Sovereign State of Biafra, United Kingdom-based organization led by Chukwudu Bikazo, the National Legal Advisor, Eastern Nigeria Student Association, Fundibo. From 1995 to date is 30 years background. I've committed my...
I want you to listen to his background. Listen to the background of this man. But Nigerian government will never allow him to have a say. They will bring the counter, people that will counter him, attack him, if possible, eliminate him. That is what Peter Mba is sponsoring in Enugu State. With Chunubu have already congratulated the faction in Enugu State. But look at the pedigree of this man that was chosen in River State, which is the normal procedure according to them. Wherever they hold the meeting is where they're going to choose. Listen to his pedigree. Why this kind of person will never be allowed, no matter what. Listen carefully.
My 30 years on this earth to the cause of the unity of the East and then the cause of Ndibo. From 1995 to date is 30 years. In 1995, I was the National Legal Advisor, Eastern Nigeria Student Association. In 1997, I was the country director of ENDOA, the Eastern Nigeria Delta Unity Association, a United Kingdom-based organization led by Chukwudu Bikazo. In the year 2000, I emerged the Director of Legal Services, Movement for the Actualization of Sovereign State of Biafra. I went to Washington, D.C. with Odumegwu Ojukwu, Wazirika, and others to open the Biafra House and Voice of Biafra International. In 2005, I was arrested and charged with treason along with other comrades. Released, I emerged that legal advisor, Ohanaze Youth Council. I was given an award for my position and principal position in Igbo land. The award was given to me by the Ohanaze Youth Council. The man who handed over the award to me was the late Ezife, former governor. I want to tell you, now, I have done a lot. I was Secretary General. If you Google me, I have been consistent that I'm an Igbo and that my people are Igbos. I had written articles in the past talking about Igbo unity, Igbo renaissance, that Igbos need to come together. So I'm irrevocably committed to the unity of Ndi Igbo. And I look forward to bringing the Igbos from the other states, you know, and bring them into Ohanaze as member states of Ohanaze. So I believe that we need one united Ohanaze.
I hope you paid attention to where he mentioned the issue of Biafra, that he was part of those who went as far as establishing Radio Biafra and went along with our eternal leader. You see how he has been fought, and this kind of people can never be in the aim of affairs. And we say that Ohanaze Ndigbo is never meant to protect us or to make any headway. You see why we are on our own. You see why we don't have anything to do with the government. You see why we don't want the Nigerian government to get involved in anything we do. That is why we are on our own, the United States of Biafra, on this agitation, starting from IPOB into the autopilot, and today we entered Briggy, and from Briggy now we are in the United States of Biafra under the leadership of Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. If you continue to deceive yourself that you can achieve anything with Nigeria, under Nigeria, in Nigeria, with Nigerian name, you are deceiving yourself. If you think you can make anything in that name, Nigeria, and you say you are fighting for Biafrans, you are wasting your time. Whether you are representing the Igbo, Efik, Ijo, or whatever, in Nigeria, you are wasting your time, more especially the Igbos. This is the latest confusion everywhere, and people saw it and they heard it, and some pretend they haven't heard it. I guess you have seen it, and more of this are coming. The governors in the Southeast are busy joining the federal government of Nigeria to destroy the peace and unity in Biafra land. They are doing everything possible to destroy the peace and unity we have in Biafra land. They are trying everything they can to destroy the peace and unity among us. That divide and rule, they are forcing it into everyone. Look at the time we are in. After the declaration of Biafra, we are talking about restoration and recognition. And the governors are busy creating chaos everywhere. Meanwhile, things that matters where they are supposed to talk, they are not talking. The resources in Biafra land are being stolen, broad daylight. None of them is doing anything. None of them is saying anything. Properties are stolen. Nobody is saying anything. They pretend not to see it. They pretend not to hear it. Every blessed day. And I want to play one of these videos. Listen to this very one. Update. What the governments are supposed to be fighting for, they are not fighting for it, but they are busy causing chaos and division. Let's listen.
Ask this question, and the reason I don't know what the Southeast Governors Forum are doing. I don't know what they discuss when they meet, but there are critical areas that we must address and we must bring to the table as soon as possible. The Southeast, yes, is the only region that does not have a high pressure gas transmission pipe to take natural gas through it. You have the AKK, the Ajaokuta, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano. There is a second phase of that AKK that goes to Gausu in Zamfara. Now, in that AKK, you have pressure metering and reduction stations in Gwagwalada for Abuja, you have in Kaduna, you have in Kano, and then you're also going to have in Gausu when the second phase starts. That AKK is what the government hopes to extend for transnational gas pipeline through Niger Republic to Algeria, even if I don't think that will be feasible because of the lack of diplomatic relationship between Niger Republic and the Nigerian government in Abuja. Okay? The Southeast does not have a pipe that runs through it, despite the fact that Abia State produces a lot of natural gas. In 2007, Ibe Kachuku designed Nigerian Gas Master Plan, and in that master plan, he put a 121-kilometer pipe that is supposed to extend from Aba to Owerri, to Enugu, to Onitsha, and then to Nnewi. The government says that no, they want to do a TNGP pipe extension from Abia State to Ajaokuta, and the second phase is going to go from Abia State to Enugu to Ajaokuta. That is going to take gas away from the Southeast, not through the Southeast. You need a pipe that extends out, because you need gas for glass fabrication, you need gas for urea, you need gas for power. 40% of the gas that is typically produced every day, either through associated gas that you get when you drill crude oil, yeah, or through non-associated gas fields. It's used for electricity. So how do you want to increase generation and increase feedstock to the Gencos in the Southeast if you don't build a high-pressure transmission pipe? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that this happens? It's the Nigerian Gas Infrastructure Company, which is a subsidiary of the NNPC group. So my question to the management of NNPC is, why have they refused to commission FID for gas pipes to the Southeast? Why have the Southeast Governors Forum not gotten into a meeting with the president to ask him why the region does not have a gas pipe that runs through it? Well, what exactly is wrong that it seems that there is like a calculated power share between the Northwest and the Southwest, and until every other region in Nigeria gets permission from the Northwest and the Southwest, nothing happens in their region. It doesn't make any sense. How can Mr. President be talking about renewed hope and economic transformation and increase in the per capita income of Nigerians and prosperity for Nigerians about building a $1 trillion economy when everything is centered around Lagos? Somebody.
Now you hear the argument from this guy. What he is saying is the truth and nothing but the truth. But they continue to deny all this fact. What he's saying is the battle that the governors are supposed to be fighting to make sure that the southeastern part of Nigeria gets their rights. We have the highest amount deposit of gas in Biafra land, but no pipe runs through our place. They lay pipe and they take the gases from our side to other places to go and begin to build factories and industries. But in this area where this gas are, you will never see anything. Last time I showed a video where they are laying pipe, taking the gas from Ebema to Cross River. And that is how it is in every southeastern state. That is what they are doing. These governors cannot fight this battle. These governors cannot speak. These governors will never utter any statement on this, but they are busy creating division among us. What they can do is to go and plant their own chief of Ohanaze. All they want to do is to plant somebody who will be their own stew. The same way they have planted today in Brigi. The same way they will be looking for a way to plant another person in the United States of Biafra. The same way they planted saboteurs during the time of Mazen Nandekan. The same way they contributed money and sponsored the kidnap of Mazen Nandekan from Kenya to Nigeria. The same way they have written petition and send people to Finland to submit petition and continue to cry and put ransom on Mazen Simon Ekpa. This is what these governors do. But things that matters, they will never fight for it nor do it. Every one of us know that the Ikwere people are Igbos. There is no doubt about it. But if you choose to say that you are not Igbo, why are you standing on the way of those who have accepted the identity, who knows who they are? And for those of them who are still having doubt and you are watching this program, I want you to listen to Mazen Nandekano, what he has to say about these idiotic people that are denying the identity. Let's listen.
Yes, Mazi, good afternoon from here. I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia as well. Please go ahead. We're listening. Please go ahead.
My question is this: concerning these people that say the Ikwere people that say they are not Igbos.
No, not Ikwere people. No. Don't say that, please. Ikwere people did not say they're not Igbo. It is only Wike, those raised with money from abandoned property. It is guilty conscience that is pursuing them. Wike needed to deny his Igbo identity in order to serve his Fulani masters very, very well. Wike knows that he's an Igbo man, but he is ravaged by guilty conscience. Some of them, their father stole properties that didn't belong to them. And in our land, it's a taboo. In Igbo land, in Igbo culture, it is a taboo for you to steal landed property belonging to your brother, your cousin, or your sister. For them to shield themselves from the ravages of guilt, they said they are not Igbo. Of course, Ikwere is Igbo. Have you not seen the new state creation that they are touting all over the place, the Fulani Janjaweed? They want to create a state comprising of Igbo, of Ikwere people, as well as those of them they took from Omok, which are Igbo people, into a new state. Do not despair. No Ikwere person, no sensible Ikwere man said he is not Igbo. Let me tell you what has been happening in the zoo and what they do very cleverly. Before now, when the Yoruba media was against us in line with the Janjaweed, they magnify what idiots like Wike say. What ordinary people are. Anytime you say, I am Ikwere, I'm Igbo, nobody will publish it. But if you say, I am Ikwere, I'm not Igbo, every paper will carry it. That is why it is always very good for us to read between the lines. Forget about the noise making of a few empty barrels, like Wike, and listen to the voice of reason of other well-meaning Ikwere sons and daughters. They know they're Igbo. Everybody knows this very clearly. Some of them claim they are from Igodomigodo. I don't dispute that. But Igodomigodo is also Igbo land.
Yes, I've answered the question because I see no reason why someone that speaks Igbo, that do everything like Igbo, will begin to deny his identity.
When you lose a war, it is always like that. When you lose a war, it's always like that. We fought a war of attrition for 3 years. The Fulani Janjaweed came and gave biscuit and chewing gum and tobacco to some people and kai hot drink to some people and say, one Nigeria. If you don't say you are one Nigeria, we'll kill you. I had a good brother of ours from America speak to me. And then he told me, this is a so-called Delta or Delta Igbo. He told me that they're from Uri. His father was the traditional ruler of his people. Every year, Ezenri will come to their village and sprinkle clay on the ground. They're from Uri. That is the way it is. Till tomorrow morning, we know who we are. Those who claiming they are not Igbo, they're living in denial. And I go as far as saying that everybody is Igbo. If you're a John, if you're a Bibio, and I say it clearly, Go back and interpret it however way you want it to be interpreted. The truth stands eternal. And I keep saying to them, are you doubting me? That all of us are Igbo. One that doubted me a few days ago, I said to him, go back to Google and Google the word Ibibio. After he Googled the word Ibibio, I asked him, please read to me what you can see. He said, related to Igbo. I asked him to Google Efik. He Googled Efik. What can you see? Efik and Ibibio are one, both are related to Igbo. I asked him to Google a job. He Googled a job. I asked him, read to me what you can see. He saw a job related to Igbo. I said to him, do you want us to continue? He said, no, he's seen enough. And that was it. That is the truth. We are all one people. That is why instigate came. That is why if you go to Abreba today, they speak the same language, or more or less, with the Bibio people. If you go to a Jagam, there is no difference between a Jagam and Arochupu. It is the same thing. That is why instigate came from there. Instigate is a uniting form of writing that binds the whole of Biafra together. If you go to places like Ihiala, if you go to Ihiala today, to Obulisiuzo, do you know where they came from? They came from Igoromigodo land. Obulisiuzo, you see today in Ihiala, their ancestral home is Igoromigodo. Why are we deceiving ourselves? As I said before, once your mother ties two-piece wrapper, you are one of us.
And you had it clear. I hope you had it and you had it very clear. For some of us who are doubting, some of us who doesn't know our left and right, you don't know where you come from, they deceive you and you pay attention and listen to them. You don't make research. You don't even follow what we are doing. You don't even listen to your leaders. And when I mean leaders, I mean those who are genuinely seeking for freedom. I mean leaders. I don't mean rulers. I don't mean tyrants. I don't mean your traditional tyrants. All those traditionalists who call themselves elite, your governors and your whatever. That's not what I mean. I mean leaders who are born to lead the United States of Biafra. Today, we can see those leaders. They have spoken in parable, they've spoken clearly in words, and they are still speaking up to now. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano is still speaking through every one of us that is broadcasting today. Every time you can hear his voice through us. If you don't want to listen, it is up to you. Our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is still speaking through all of us that are broadcasting today. If you refuse to listen, it is your business. Everything that you need to know is out there. Mazi Simon Ekpa is speaking to you every blessed day and still speaking. He never stops speaking. Even when they restrict him, he's still speaking through us. If you refuse to listen, it is your business. You don't have anyone to blame. You blame yourself. Don't say you are not warned. Don't say you are not told. You are told, but you refuse to listen. So you hold yourself responsible. Our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is still there, the mouthpiece of the gods today, speaking the voice of Mazen Nandekano, speaking the voice of Mazen Simon Ekpa every time, bringing the information to your doorstep, letting you know there is only one government, there's no other two. The United States of Biafra, which Mazen Nandekano was pursuing, has finally been declared on the 29th of November 2024. And from that moment onwards, we became a government. But unfortunately, the Janjaweed are still using those they will use to distract you and let them tell you, oh, you have not yet been free. You are still in captivity. You don't have any right to be free. And some of you are believing them. But I bet you very soon, your eyes will clear. As for us, we have moved on. And we don't care what anybody thinks. All we know is Biafra is the destination, and we are already in that land. The land flowing with milk and honey, and we must defend it and protect it. Wherever you are today, You must pay attention. Remember the warnings Mazen Nandikanu gave us. We called him a noisemaker. Some of us called him a troublemaker. Some of them call him a whatever, different kinds of name. Today, every word of Mazen Nandekan is coming to pass. He warned you, they are coming, they are coming. He went to the US and told them, equip your people to defend our land. These people are coming. They didn't listen. They kept quiet until they came in. He still told them they are here. And he went ahead and formed the ESN. All hell break loose. They connived, planned, and kidnapped him because he formed the ESN. They kidnapped him in order to stop the success of the ESN. And you think it will end there. It didn't end there. When they kidnapped him, Mazi Simon Ekpa came on board and continued, transformed the ESN into an army. Rescued the ones he was able to rescue after they have even sold the ESN and gave the governors. The governors transformed them to agents of killing and kidnapping. They began to wear a WAG uniform and they started kidnapping, they started fighting themselves and started killing themselves. Master Simon Ekpa rescued the ones he would rescue and made them army. They became an army and they became formidable. While Master Simon Ekpa was doing what he has to do to make sure that victory comes, they started again. They struck again and they restricted Master Simon Ekpa, gave him restrictions and began to use their propaganda and their insiders in the Pedigree to create factions. And Dr. Ngozi Orabueze came in again as a rescue. Today, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is very busy rescuing the Liberation Army that are being starved to death. Rescuing the Liberation Army that have been exposed to the social media. Today, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is very busy rescuing them, doing everything she can to rescue them, and the rescue operation is going on. All she needs today is our support. All she needs is our support. Support financially to equip the Liberation Army. Support prayerfully, support morally. Give your utmost support so that we can build a formidable army again. Just like Master Simon Ekpa did when the ESN was taken over. When the ESN was blackmailed. The same thing is what we are doing today. That is where recruitment is going in all the 40 states. A salary scheme is being put in place to make sure that the Liberation Army are properly taken care of. We are lucky that we have good leaders. Wherever you are, you must rise up, and the time is now to defend our land because they have come. And if you think it's a joke, I want you to listen to this warning. Don't mind the person that is speaking because he is one of the problem. The video I'm about to play, the man is one of the problem, but I want you to listen to what he has to do. That report is important. Let's take the report and throw away the man. Let's watch.
Very, very important. Let me say this and let me say it again. I will continue to raise alarm if the life of our people, if the life of Ndibo is in danger. I will continue to raise alarm. Anything that has to tamper with the safety of life and property of Ndibo, alarm. Now listen very attentively. Every community raise a forest guard. Since the government don't want to have forest guards in Imo State or even in the southeast, every community protect yourself. I'm going to community give 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. Highest the government may issue press release. Highest the government may issue press release condemning the attack. That's it. Oh, Kahagala. Nkemere also government in a press release government. Nkemere also in a press release police. Nkemere also in a press release in the army. If you don't protect yourself, government will not protect you. Let's listen to this voice note. Very, very important. Nkemere na nekede nga. Nekede nga. Genonte.
Biko, and then keep way out to myself. Onye ọzọ nwere ike fall or victim to it. First of all, she make a Chineke na onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa. onye je mehe ya kpoji sọ ya onye jikwana nafu onye ọla ọchọghị nafu ani. A very big shock to me today what I saw or what I witnessed ala naked. As usual, everybody who knows me too well knows me that this evening I decided, my brother, Ndanele, Bakus, let Bakus upon a muki. Kelechi Wahaya. So my she IJ Akukoyo. Le Manyoga Churman Papa. I have a link at Amani. A Baijana Ganfa. I knew a bar Loma Cash and Jamana. Ebe Umezrokam. I journey Azun New City. Azun New City. Azun New City. You know, Lama New City knows very well that New City will everybody be. Azun New City ka journey. Ha gaji. Mano Oporo. Poram no Magba Unyumaya Poshahi Wulundausa. Because I was very, very vigilant. She Ebe re akukom noga. Ebe ndozo she ebe nwere somehow. So Magba she Wulundausa. Imulating Gashan Wulundausa. Yes, step off front to share. No, move a step or backwards. Bakuje Osmo. Ham Bakuje small ton anyazo. Le Payoge Langono. Ndausari, well armed. Worry about 5 per AK-45. Double magazine. Unyola pa 3-3. Fully loaded. Military Mton anyazo shoge langono mawa. Ayana uzonye kogalam that mam majimunye koza kokebe. She aba ume owo showme. Yachilizia kedu bameshi, we are hunters. See our dogs. I don't see no dog. Why the other person they run? You say na fear na. If na you, if you see people, you go run na. Onye ka papa to ebu. Tigazie na safety. Mana be urebe umaya. She alufu umaya, ilufu umaya. Ngasa achaya. 6,000 naira ma pa ya. Already 6,000 naira. Le old Nokia phone no ji ma pa ya. Later, share where you get this phone. You actually don't pay where they use them. So I should know without an asso. Ya Ojano Ausa. So Yashin will no be bad people, will not be bad people, will be hunters. Yasha the Yasa, Yasha the Yasumo. Yashi okay. You say no be this thing. Yasha you be indigenous, be tenant. Yasha be tenant. Yasha who you call last. Thank God, when you last landlord, they have been aba. Yashin na my landlord. You are full now, dial out the number, our landlord there. Yasha, you the talk truth. How can the cause on Azo? You just up on the cause of Shingo waiting be that. No share na person. So, my that thing. When you catch and when you keep pushing here, I don't anybody, when you can raka kuseyobi. Sure, you know the fear. That shall be hunting. You don't take away they see things for bush. So, yeah, she okay. There's a Bamonia cause or she no be security in B. Say make we leave him. Na tenant. You cause she know me will kill him. When you cause she know me will leave him. One on game, when you cause she okay, I move. Me will leave me. Yaga kujende ka no pana azana she know they come. So how old the ranya? You may and the cause attention in move vola. You have to cover Miawa. Pabi Moya, Shimoya Bafa. No panotish. The chain get call and them man because I really thank God. Who would have believed Namafu J betray my brother?
Oh, the Makwana Hone. I couldn't holler. So, if you go again now, Ndu Guanon, none of you more here. And where Judas. Unibo. There's so hano there. You know, in Hokro, no one kept uchi here. onye nke kpuchiri ihu ya, onye nke kpuchiri ihu ya wụ nwa diala. Onye ho nwa diala. Na to aka pointer ka na akpodere ndị ahụ pointer. Again, they are against security. They are against the vigilante. Because over that guy maybe na equutation or vigilante ma owo here. And ebabu anymore here. Ma wa should owo diala, no indigene, and ebabu. Are you seeing what is happening in our forest, at our backyard? Forest ani, na backyard de ani ngao. Ihe ikogalaga emege na kafancha, omege na nekede. Ihe mege na avu. Ihe mege no bosima. Ihe mege no forola. Omege ni irete. Omege ejeme ekuru. Ihe nde mege na oro gwenga. Ka udi ihe agba. Olebe ihe na emege. Olebe na emege. Na backyard ai ka eme. And we keep saying it. Every community raise up, establish, set up Himano forest guard in every community. Ọrụkwa maka ndị osekụlụ ọlụ obodo a, ndị a esekụlụ ọlụ obodo a. Ebe nwata na-atụ na ebe akwa atụ aka, ma nne ya anọghị ya, nna ya nọrọ ya, ana m ha ebele, ana m ha atụla aka. Anyway, I'm a messenger. I have delivered the message. If you like, take the message. Muna achoho, relax yano. Lewen mbe government ga bia security. No, wait for government to come and provide security in your bush for you. Don't know now. Highest, they will issue press release condemning the gruesome killing. They will just issue press release condemning the gruesome killing and promising to be on top of the situation. They have never been on top of anything in their life. They have never been on top of any situation at all in this country. Yeah, no. Thank you.
You have heard the report. This is a report. You have heard it, and that is the true situation. Now you understand that you must prepare yourself. Now you understand that you must be ready at all times. Now you understand that the only way out for you is to prepare your defense. Nobody's going to fight for you. Nobody's going to do those things for you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to prepare to defend your land. If you don't defend your land now, what is going to come? It's not even a question of what is going to come. It is already here. It's just a question of time. They have said it, they're just waiting for whistle. Once they blow the whistle, you are going to see what you have never seen before. And some of us are waiting to hear that whistle. You must not wait. Every one of us as Biafran in Biafran land, you must begin to prepare yourself on how to defend yourself. As the government is making their own preparation, you also have to make a preparation. Don't wait for the government. Don't fold your hand and wait. They have surrounded everywhere. We started on time to cry, but none of you took it serious. None of you took it serious. Support the Biafran government financially to defend you and protect you. If you are a man and you're capable, you can join the Liberation Army. Go ahead and join. Send in your application through the email address that was given. Do not apply with any form. If anybody gives you a form to fill, don't take it. If anybody call you to come and pay money and join the Liberation Army, do not. If you do that, you are exposing yourself to danger. Anything that happens to you, you find yourself to blame. If you get involved in any way, in any manner, and you get yourself with blame, no registration is done anywhere. No form is being created. Nobody is requesting money from you. All you have to do is to send in your application through the email that was provided by the government. Go to the government platform on X. If you type United States of Biafra on X, verified account, you are going to see the email address to send your application to be member of the Liberation Army, or you go to the platform of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the Deputy Prime Minister, you will see the link. Anything short of that, we are not interested. You put yourself into trouble. When you send your application, the government will follow you up. They are going to supervise you. They are going to interview you. They will study you. If they found you qualified, then they will send you to a place where you will go for training. After the training, you'll be placed on salary scheme. You will receive your salary in your account directly, no third party. Nothing like give Mr. A, make it help you pay, or give your commander to help you. You will receive your salary in your account. It is not a joke. We are operating a government. And every one of us must be awake and be doing what you are supposed to do. As we are rounding up on this program, I want you to listen to this message before we conclude.
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra exit.
You have heard it, and that is where we are. Doing everything humanly possible to see that Biafra exit the Zoological Republic. Wherever you are, prepare yourself. Be ready to take actions. Be ready to take risk. Be ready to protect yourself. Nobody is going to do it for you except you do it yourself. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that have participated in this program from the beginning to the end. I urge you to be steadfast. Do not be discouraged. Do not be distracted. Do not listen to propaganda or blackmails of the enemy. Always be focused. Our freedom is very close. No amount of propaganda or blackmail will stop us. We shall overcome. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we shall win the battle. Thank you so much for being part of this program. We are going to see again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Thank you so much.
Asịkwana Chineke na enweghị ihe ọ ga-eme maka ọ ga-eme gị nwụọ n'ike. Hope Asekwana na de Chineke ga-eme. Ọ ga-emekwa ịfụnanya. Ise n'igwe na nwere ihe ọ ga-eme maka Biafra. Ọ ga-eme ya ịfụ ya n'anya. Ị ghọtago? Ezu aka ọ dị. Ị ghọtago? Ọnwa pie. Ogugo ọtụtụ ọtụtụ agwụgwọ